let's talk about my 4 most overrated products today. This will be skincare, one skincare item, and then the rest is makeup. First overrated product for me would be the Fenty gloss. Now, I don't particularly like glosses to begin with, but in my opinion, this is just an okay gloss. I wouldn't even say that this is really great or really good. There's a lot of colors, there's a wide range of different flavors and textures, and so maybe it's just this texture in particular that I don't particularly like from the brand. Keeping with lip products, and this one might surprise a lot of people, but it is my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. So I have 2 different formulas here. I have their luxuriously lucent or something like that lip formula. I was checking the bottom to see if it said the formula, but it doesn't. This is their satin sheer texture. So I have 2 different colors of these. I have Atomic Cherry and then Love of My Life. Yeah, here's Love of My Life. The Velvet Matte lipstick I have in the shade Velvet Blush. It's a very nice kind of mauve muted color here. Shows up darker in the camera than it is in real life. So here's my thing. I really enjoy all 3 of these lipsticks. I don't think that they're bad lipsticks. And I use these regularly. These are lipsticks that I will reach for. They're not just hidden away and they're so bad that I dislike to use them. But the reason I think they're overrated is because they are so raved about as like the peak formula, the best in class kind of lipsticks. And here's what I can say. There's a wide range of colors. The formulas are all comfortable. And the component, the bullets that they're in are very nice, high quality, and luxury. So I really enjoy using them, but I honestly don't think they are the world's best lipsticks. If you've been around here for a while, you know that I really like these Revlon cream lipsticks. This one is in Nude Fury, but I've had it in Rosé something or other. It's just a nude lipstick. I would have to say that this formula from Revlon is very similar to the satin luxuriously lucent or something lipsticks from Lisa Eldridge. Very similar. Obviously you can tell packaging is very different, so that's obviously where some of the money is going to. It's much more of an experience using these Lisa Eldridge ones. But I would just have to say, if you think you are, like if you have your eyes on these Lisa Eldridge lipsticks, I would get one if you want it. But for me, it's not something I feel the need to continuously buy every single color of. They're nice to have, and they're probably akin to the Gucci lipsticks or the Chanel lipsticks, which in that case, they are priced fairly well, even when you convert them to USD. I just think it's a little disingenuous to say that there's no other lipsticks exactly like them, and I mean, they're the be-all, end-all of lipstick formulas, because they're a very elegant formula, I think, but there's definitely other ones like them. And then keeping with makeup, I have Pat McGrath, the Pat McGrath eyeshadows. If you watched my makeup collection video, which blew up somehow, it was really wild to see, you would have heard that I got this on a really good deal. It was like $45 or something, because her website was, it's short-circuited basically, and there was a coupon code that worked for everyone. So I ended up buying this one. For me, this is like my going out palette because it's got a lot of interesting different shimmers and colors, but I think the regular price for one of these palettes is either $120 or $130, and that is insane to me. These shadows are very nice. There's a good mix of matte and shimmer, and then I guess her special flaky shades. But here is what I've determined through having this palette. Is it worth $45? Yes. Is it worth, I think a Huda palette is $65? Sure, I would even go as far as say it's worth $65, which in and of itself is insane. Is it worth over $100? Probably not. There's a lot of different brands now that sell different textured eyeshadows, both in mainstream makeup and in indie makeup. So I think these special shades are not as particularly hard to get as they used to be. I also don't really like the special shades in this palette. They're very flaky and kind of hard to use. You would almost need a glitter glue to be able to use it. so that it sticks to your face. And part of that's my fault because I chose a palette that's specifically very kind of insane looking. In general, my overall thoughts is that the packaging is great. It's very beautiful. It's very luxurious. The eyeshadows inside are great. They're good quality. I mean, the mattes even aren't probably the best mattes I've ever used, but they are very workable, they're very nice. And the shimmers obviously are very, very pretty. Nothing about this screams $120, $130. It's high quality. There's obviously a great deal of care that goes into curating these palettes, but it's just not something that I would be screaming to the rooftops about. Honestly, there's several palettes in my collection right now that I would repurchase before this one. Like if I lost all my makeup, I would repurchase several other things before I repurchased this. And not even just for the price, just for the case that it's an okay palette. It's nice. And this would even be like an awesome gift to give to someone for some big occasion, but I think it's severely overhyped. I think the brand in general has its corner in the beauty market, and I think that's good, but I think in general, a lot of the things that come out, a lot of the powder things that come out of this brand are pretty overhyped, and their quality is over-exaggerated to an extent. If you want something Pat McGrath and $120, $130 is out of your price range, as it would be for most people, I would recommend that one of her 4-pan palettes. I have this one in Fleur Fantasia, one of her Celestial Divinity quads. This one I got on sale. I think I got it for $25 or something, $25, $30. And this one I use constantly, or I used to use constantly. I have kind of stayed away from eyeshadow recently, but it's a very nice collection of shimmer, satin, matte shades. I know she has quads that have one of these special shades in here. I think those ones go up to like $60. But honestly, I think I get more value personally in one of these 4 pans than in one of those larger, huge pans. And it's still in this nice, luxurious packaging. The back still has got the logo, everything about it. Am I upset that I spent $40 on it? Absolutely not. As I said, I got this one for like $30. So to spend $10 more and get one of the huge palettes is great. It's amazing. But would I ever buy another one? I highly doubt it. And then our last thing is our skincare, and that is going to be the COSRX Advanced Snail Mucin Power Essence. I got this at TJ Maxx, which is where I get most of my skincare, especially most of my trendy skincare. I don't think this really does much. Honestly, I've seen a lot of people say that it's completely changed their skin. It's done wonders. Now here's the thing. I don't have particularly fussy skin. I don't have a lot of skin issues. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Having said that, this is also just kind of an agitating texture. On the one hand, it's fun and interesting because it's like slimy, you know? So you're like, oh, I want to try that, see how that is. What I've found is that the slimy texture is just kind of annoying over time. Like I just want to get my skincare on and call it a day. And I've also found that this isn't even particularly hydrating. You would think it's almost, it's more viscous, so it would be more hydrating and moisturizing, but to me, this almost made my skin feel drier. I don't know what the science behind that is. It just didn't do what I needed it to do. It didn't provide hydration. It didn't really calm my skin. I don't have a lot of flare-ups or issues like that, but you know, general calming, reducing redness, any of that. Didn't find it did that. And you can see I have a pretty good dent in there, so I have been using it and I will continue to use it until it's empty. But it's just one of those skincare products where it doesn't do anything. Now, I would say that this is overhyped, but it's not super expensive. You can find this pretty much everywhere. It's always on sale. In my experience, every time I've looked for it, it's been on sale. So if you're still interested, I would go ahead and give it a shot, but I would kind of lower your expectations a little bit. Anytime some sort of skincare starts getting talked about online, I think people tend to overhype its benefits and its results. So take it with a grain of salt if you do want to try it, but for me, it's just kind of a whatever product. I could have it or I could not have it. It almost is just putting more water on my face. Okay, so do you use any of these products? I'd be interested to hear. And also, what are your overrated products? What are products that you hear people raving about all the time, but you don't really like all that much? More teaching content to come. I have an update on my job hunt, so look out for that, and I will see you in the next one.